Hey everybody, I'm Blas, and I make videos where I'm talking. Yeah, crazy. Insane concept, I know. Today we're talking about Dead by Daylight, and it is another concept chapter I came up with. So today we will be talking about a hypothetical Fallout concept chapter. And I also want to explain a little bit why Fallout, because a lot of people don't think of Fallout being horror related or even being scary, other than, the few dungeons with the feral ghouls, but otherwise than that, I wouldn't say Fallout is a series known for its horror, even though it's there in the background. So, first, if you don't know what Fallout is, that's crazy. But we're just going to skip over that, and I'm going to explain how Fallout can fit into Dead by Daylight. The Fallout series could fit really well into Dead by Daylight because both worlds already share the same themes of fear, survival, and twisted science. Fallout's wasteland is full of horrifying creatures, corrupted humans, and experiments gone wrong. I mean, just look at the centaurs. And this matches Dead by Daylight's style of taking ordinary people and monsters and trapping them in the fog. In Fallout, Vault-Tec made experiments that ruined people's lives, and the entity in Dead by Daylight does the same thing by using humans as test subjects for its trials. The post-apocalyptic setting would also be it would bring a new flavor to the game, and it would be really cool to see because I love the post-apocalyptic setting. I like zombie stuff, I like Fallout related stuff, Wasteland, I think it's awesome. So anyway, Fallout's mix of retro future technology and horror lines up with Dead by Daylight's grim tone, making the crossover feel natural rather than forced. Both games thrive on hopelessness, tension, and the idea that survival is never guaranteed, which makes Fallout a strong candidate for a Dead by Daylight chapter. So for this chapter, I will be doing something different. Usually I go for the survivor, explain their perks, do their costume or outfit ideas, and then move on to the killer. Today we're going to switch things up and start off with the killer, because the killer is the main point for this concept. A commenter a while back, not a while back, like a couple videos ago, I don't remember his name, but if I find the comment, I'll screenshot it and put it in the video, hopefully now. And it made me want to research Frank Horrigan, because I've heard the name before. I know he's from Fallout 2, and that was pretty much it, because I never played Fallout 2. I own Fallout 1, played a little bit of it. I played parts of Fallout 3. I beat it a long time ago, didn't care for it. Fell in love with New Vegas. Fallout 4 was terrible, but the gunplay is fun. And that's really it. I never went back to play Fallout 2. So, I went on the research, just binging videos about Fallout 2, the missions, and Frank Horrigan himself, reading his wiki lore and just learning about Frank Horrigan. And this guy, I can see why people like him. He's just a brute. Awesome. So he's the main highlight of this chapter, so we'll be talking about him first. The Cyborg. Frank Horrigan is a genetically engineered, total homicidal maniac cyborg bodyguard, capable of completely dominating battlefields and slaughtering his foes. His personal perks: Scourge Hook, Terrifying Presence, Sadistic Streak, and Enforcer's Wrath allow him to aggressively close the distance and focus on his targets. His power: Experimental Plasma Blaster. Special ability: Plasma Burst. Press the power button to charge and fire a short-ranged plasma bolt at a survivor. Survivors hit by the plasma lose a health state, and depending on where they're shot, they become afflicted by a different status effect. Only one status effect can be applied to a survivor, and they lose their affliction, the status effect, once they're fully healed or downed. Status effects depending on body part. If the survivor is shot in the head, they gain the blindness status effect, and anything further than 12 meters becomes dark, similar to Dredge's Nightfall ability. So they cannot see auras, and they're surrounded in darkness. If the survivor is shot in the torso, there is no status effect applied. If the survivor is shot in the legs, it slows the survivors down by 5%, and if the survivor is shot in the arms, their healing and repair speed are 10% slower. Once a survivor is damaged by Plasma Burst, any further shots instead place the recently shot survivor into deep wounds, and any remaining shots are automatically consumed. You must then reload your experimental plasma caster. Special ability: Time to Die. Once all 3 shots are fired, or a survivor is put into deep wounds by your plasma caster, your power will have a 10-second cooldown. During this time, the cyborg will go into Time to Die mode, and will gain a 5% movement speed and a 15% speed in breaking pallets, breakable walls, and generators. His power is meant to have him keep his signature experimental plasma gun without it being too overpowered. His shots would be short-ranged, similar to Pyramid Head or Nemesis's power. Anything further would be wildly inaccurate, just how the weapon is in-game. The time to die mode is meant to connect during his boss fight at the end of Fallout 2 when he rushes into melee after running out of ammo. The reload mechanic encourages him to spread mayhem instead of focusing on one survivor for too long. And the 10-second cooldown and the reload thing are kind of the same thing. And finally, I figure his aiming mechanic can be similar to Deathslinger, but mostly look like the VATS mechanic from the Fallout games, even though Frank doesn't use a Pip-Boy. It could work in real time, kind of like Fallout 76, and the hit percentages can change depending on distance, encouraging Frank to get closer to the target. Now onto perks. His first perk, Scourge Hook, Terrifying Presence. Once their line falls, take advantage and dismantle their forces. When a survivor is unhooked from a Scourge Hook, all other survivors scream, having their auras revealed for 4 seconds and become exposed for 10, 20, 30 seconds. His second perk, Sadistic Streak. When a survivor is hooked, Sadistic Streak activates for the next 10, 20, 30 seconds. Generators in your tear radius begin automatically regressing at 30% of the normal regression speed. Each survivor on their first hook gives you a token up to 4. Each token is worth 30% extra of regression speed, which stacks up to 150% of regression speed. Regressing generators being worked on are highlighted in a yellow aura. Frank's third perk, Enforcer's Wrath. You are the government's final word, a weapon built to crush resistance. Each time you break a pallet or damage a generator, you gain a stack of Enforcer's Wrath, up to 3, 4, 5 stacks. For each stack, your basic attack cooldown is reduced by 4%. When at maximum stacks, survivors within your tear radius suffer from the hindered status effect for 2 seconds after performing a fast vault. I don't have any cosmetic ideas for Frank Horrigan, because, well, he only has the one look, which is him in his armor, and he cannot take off the armor or else he'll die. So I'm thinking maybe like a blighted outfit, but that's being generous. So really no cosmetic ideas for him. I can't really think of any legendaries that could fit for him. So yeah, poor guy. The next part of the video we'll be talking about a survivor, and it's all over the place, so please bear with me. So the survivor for this chapter was kinda added in last minute. The only reason is because I was only going to make a video on Frank Horrigan, but the reason why I wanted to add a survivor was the perks. I thought about perk ideas while I was brainstorming perk ideas for Frank. I kept running into ideas for a hypothetical survivor. So the survivor's kind of half-baked, so like I said before, please bear with me. So I don't really have a name for the character because we'll think of it as a behavior original character from Fallout, or maybe just, I don't know, it's hard because all the protagonists in Fallout are characters that you make, and you make their choices, so they're not really characters. They have big events they have to do, but at the end of the day, the protagonist is meant to be you. So for a name, we'll just call him John/Jane Smith because, well, default character name. In this concept, the survivors will work like Astri and Bayermer, I think his name is, from the Dungeons and Dragons chapter, or sort of like the Legion, how different outfits will change the character, or maybe there's different body types like the Dungeons and Dragons survivor. It's just something like that. I think that would be a good idea because the protagonist has always had the option to be either male or female, so it'd be smart to have both. Lore-wise, they're just the same person, opposite sex though, for both people, whatever you want. So they'll have the they/them pronouns to make more sense instead of choosing between he and she. So anyway, let's continue. I'm sorry. Smith was naive but smart and cautious, which led them through a variety of deadly encounters in the wasteland. Their personal perks, Mysterious Stranger, Animal Friend, and Nerd Rage, allow them to work hard to adapt and survive using what they learned in their adventures. Their first perk, Mysterious Stranger. You have a guardian angel at your side. After repairing a 180 60% worth of progress on a generator, Mysterious Stranger activates. The next time you're working on a generator or healing a survivor, the Mysterious Stranger spawns and lends a hand if a space is open for him to help. He'll act as a second survivor and turn your good skill checks into great skill checks. Once finished or interrupted by you or the killer, the Mysterious Stranger then deactivates for the remainder of the trial. What I mean, if there's a space for him to help out, I mean like, if you're working on a generator and you're the only one, then he'll take up one of the spaces and help you on that generator. If you're healing somebody and it's just you, then he'll spawn in and help you heal that survivor. He's just a guy, a little guy that just shows up in a fedora and a trench coat like he does in the games. He just shows up randomly, helps you, and then dips. And that idea of just some guy showing up and helping you is the reason why I wanted to make a little survivor on the side, because I like that idea as a perk. I think it's funny, especially how Dungeons & Dragons also has the that one perk where you create a hallucination of yourself to work on the generator beside you. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking. So, except they actually help instead of just distract. So, I don't know. I thought that would be cool. Their second perk, Animal Friend. After safely unhooking 4, 3, 2 survivors, Animal Friend activates. This perk causes you to hear loud noise notifications when the killer scares a crow, and when you're injured and you scare a crow while in chase, you lose grunts of pain and scratch marks for 8, 9, 10 seconds. So Animal Friend in the Fallout games can mean a few different things. Sometimes the animal will come to aid you in battle, but I think that's in Skyrim or in one of the Elder Scroll games. I actually don't remember. But you could also, I know in Fallout 4 you could pacify animals if they try to attack you by just aiming your gun at them. And in the other Fallout games, the animals will just straight up not attack you unless you attack them. So you can't really attack the animals per se in Dead by Daylight, which besides the crows, I think there's only vultures and I think the horse from that one map. I forgot his name. I can't think of his name right now. Oh my gosh. But yeah. So maybe the crows can help you out. And hold on, sorry, I'm all mixed up. The killers have a perk called Spies in the Shadows or something, where the crows, when a survivor scares them off, a loud noise notification happens. Well, what if it was the reverse? Because I know Sable, or I think it's Sable, either Sable or Tori, they have a invocation perk that allows them, when a killer scares off a crow, it shows off their aura, which is okay, I guess, but if the killer has undetectable, it doesn't really matter. So this one's a bit cooler because it will bring a loud noise notification for the survivor. So it's basically Spies in the Shadows, but for the survivors. And then when they're in chase, and they scare off a bird, it takes away their grunts of pain and their scratch marks. They still bleed, so it's not, it's not too hard to keep up with the survivor, but it gives them a chance to get away if the killer's not paying attention. And then, of course, if you scare off multiple birds, it stacks for a little bit, so it keeps refreshing. So it's basically, I don't know. I thought it would have been a cool idea, and I wanted to bring Animal Friend and make it work into the game. So let's move on to the other perk. Their third and final perk, Nerd Rage. After completing a generator, Nerd Rage activates. While activated, the next time you are injured and stun the killer's stun duration is increased by 2 seconds, and they are afflicted by the blindness status effect for 20, 25, 30 seconds, then it deactivates. Nerd Rage reactivates if you finish the last generator that powers the exit gates. So this perk is a little strong because it enhances the pallet stun duration. So the idea is that it's your get out of jail free card once in the match, but you can earn it back if you complete the final generator. If not, well then you don't get it. That sucks to be you. Now I want to move on to some cosmetic ideas because there's a lot of them. So as I've talked about before, this survivor, John Jane Smith, is one character with 2 body types. So the default outfit will be some random unarmored vault suit, like whatever behavior or whoever they work with, Bethesda probably, to come up with in the chapter. So just some random vault suit. And that will be their default. Some other cosmetic ideas we're thinking about were ones that represent each of the protagonists of the Fallout series. So I was thinking of the Vault Dweller outfit, which is the Fallout 1 armored and tattered Vault 13 suit for the male body. Another outfit is the Chosen One outfit, which is the Fallout 2 tribal outfit, the one you start off with, for the female body. The next one is the NCR Ranger armor from Fallout New Vegas for the male body. Then a Courier 6 outfit also from Fallout New Vegas for the female body. A Kaisar's Legion armor from Fallout New Vegas, of course, for the male body, of course. And then the Lone Wanderer outfit, which can be like the Fallout 3 armored Vault 101 outfit for the female body. So 3 for the male, 3 for the female. And then some legendary outfits honestly, legendary outfits, these are all just my favorite characters, so if you have any better ideas, shoot them my way, I guess, comment them. I picked Raul and Joshua Graham from Fallout New Vegas, Kate and Curie from Fallout 4, Katja from Fallout 1, and Butch Deloria from Fallout 3. Odd choices, but I like those characters, and I think it'd be funny to see them in-game. Mostly Butch. Tunnel Snakes rule, by the way. Anyway, that was... Oh, actually, a few more things. So, for the characteristics, I guess, for Frank Horrigan, he's going to be a really tall killer. Like, he's going to be up there with Dracula, Nemesis, and Pyramid Head. He's going to be a tall killer, and he's going to have a big terror radius because he's a sort of ranged killer. So there's that. How fast he moves, he can move super fast in game, so I don't know how they could work that. Just make him, I don't know, the entity's going to have to nerf him either way, just like it nerfs every other major killer. And, what else did I want to mention? I'm trying to remember. A map. I didn't think of a map, but if I really had to pick one, let's see. I would probably have to say Megaton from Fallout 3, because if they ever do a chapter like this, whenever they do video game chapters, it's a good idea that the chapter represents all of the games. So Frank Horrigan can represent classic Fallout. The map could be like from Fallout 3, probably arguably the most famous one. And then the survivor could represent all of Fallout as a whole, just like the Silent Hill chapter does, where each part represents different parts of the games. And then I think that was about it that I wanted to talk. Oh, also a Mori I was thinking of. Maybe I'll draw it with stick figures in the video, maybe not, because I have a deadline for this video for it to be released by Tuesday. But if I have time, the Mori I'm thinking about is, okay, so the survivor's on the ground, and Frank stands over them, stabs them through the back with the wrist blade on his right arm. Then he lifts them up, and then he points the plasma caster, the plasma gun, to the back of their head, and then fires it at point blank range, making it a critical hit, which results in the survivor literally melting into a pile of green goo off of his blade and then onto the floor. I think would be a cool Mori. Be similar to Vecna's, or who else does a Mori? The Krausu actually has a Mori like that too, where she picks them up and stabs them, makes them blow up. But similar to that, that's something that I'm thinking of that would have been cool, because the glowy goo, it has to be represented somehow, because it's such a funny effect using it in game and getting a critical hit and then seeing the enemy just fall to the floor in a puddle. Jesus. Anyway, so that's the end of this video. I hope you guys liked this concept chapter. Let me know any things you would change about it. Let me know if you have any better ideas for a survivor, if you have any better ideas for a killer. I'm open to hear it in the comments down below, so make sure to leave a comment for me, please. Leave a like if you liked the video, and if you want to see more from me and more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. It's free and it helps me out, and hopefully we make it to 1,000 one day so I could start taking this a bit more seriously. As for now, I'm just putting out videos that make me happy, but also, you know, if somebody asks for a video to be made, then of course I want to do my best to oblige them and make a video for them. So this video is dedicated to that one commenter that wanted a Frank Horrigan video, and it's also dedicated to my Theo Matthew, because he is also a Fallout fan that got me into Fallout back in the day when I was a little brat. So I thank you, Theo Matthew, I love you, and I thank you, random commenter. I don't know your name, but I'll put your screenshot on the video, and I think that's about it, guys. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.